Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for clicking on the video. Um, this is an update on the video I did a few days ago about the founder of the African American History Museum named Sadie Roberts-Joseph. Um, when I first reported the video, it was reported that she was found dead in the trunk of her car. She was 75 years old. And I promised you that when any new information came out that I would share with you all. So this morning, I came across some information, some updates on the case. Before I get into that, I'm going to show you the updated news video, the news clipping that I saw this morning, and then we'll take it from there. So give me one moment.
We're going to begin with this. In Louisiana, police are hunting for suspects in the murder of a beloved local civil rights activist. The East Baton Rouge coroner yesterday ruled the death of Sadie Roberts-Joseph a homicide. She died of suffocation. The 75-year-old body was found in the trunk of her car 4 days ago. Errol Burnett is in Baton Rouge at the museum Roberts-Joseph founded almost 2 decades ago. Errol, good morning. What's the latest on this case?
Good morning. Just to give you a sense of how sacred Sadie Roberts-Joseph is, a state lawmaker is collecting donations right now to keep her museum open. You see the main structure behind me, this trolley, a part of it as well. Her body was discovered about 2 miles from here, and medical examiners are looking at it closely to try and understand what happened to her in her final hours on Friday.
Investigators say community activist Sadie Roberts-Joseph died from traumatic asphyxia, including suffocation, not long after she visited her family. CBS News spoke with Pat McAllister LaDuff, her niece.
We have to find out who did this. She can't go down like this. She don't deserve this.
Roberts-Joseph's family says the 75-year-old stopped by her sister's house Friday to bake a southern staple, cornbread. Just hours later, her body was found inside her own vehicle's trunk in a residential neighborhood. Police now looking for potential witnesses.
You know that you can carry on. And we're going to miss that.
I'm sorry
Her
about
brother
that.
described Roberts-Joseph as
the fact that somebody would even do this to her.
cornbread. Just hours later, her body was found inside her own vehicle's trunk in a residential neighborhood. Police now looking for potential witnesses to that crime.
The fact that somebody would even do this to her, it's disturbing. It really is.
She made everybody feel good about themselves to let you know that you can carry on. And we're going to miss that.
Her brother described Roberts-Joseph as selfless.
She would always do a favor for people. It was never too much to do.
But he says she was best known for her local contributions. She began her African American Museum in 2001. It includes artwork and historic items like this bus from the 1953 Baton Rouge bus boycotts. This video shows Roberts-Joseph at this year's annual Juneteenth celebration, which she hosted for years in Baton Rouge to commemorate the emancipation of slaves in the South. News of Roberts-Joseph's death has rocked this community.
She was passionate about preserving this museum and keeping it here for generations to come and enjoy.
Her impact on this city is hard to put into words, but I do think Baton Rouge owes it to her to make certain that this legacy of hers remains.
Now, the police are remaining very tight-lipped. They cite this ongoing investigation. The city is offering $5,000 to information leading to an arrest or an indictment. And consider this, the family is fearful that if a suspect is announced but not in custody, the community may seek its own justice. And Eureka, there is a vigil here tonight.
Wow, Errol, thank you. What a beautiful spirit she was.
All right, so that's the news story that I came across earlier this morning. That's how I got the update, and I read a few articles. It's a few things that I know now that I didn't know when I first did the video. One thing that I made very clear was I didn't know whose car trunk was she in, because that would be able to tell us maybe even a suspect maybe. but it was actually her car that they now reporting on. I didn't know her whereabouts that Friday. The things she did throughout the day. So she went to her sister's house to cook, and a few hours later, she was found in a residential area about 2 miles from her house in the trunk of her car. In that situation, it's kind of puzzling. It's confusing. And then another thing that we didn't know then when I did the video, and that we know now, is her cause of death, which was violent asphyxiation, which means either she was suffocated or strangled. And the reason they put violent on it is because it's a lot of ways you can die like choking on food. And because they use the word violent, that means from one person to another. So she was suffocated or strangled to death and placed in the trunk of her car. My condolences and sympathy go out to the family, to the community that she supported, to her brother, and just everyone for the death of this 75-year-old woman who was a pioneer in the Black community and who had did great things to preserve the memory of our people in this nation and everything that we've been through. And for someone to violently murder her like that is uncalled for. And hopefully I feel within my soul that within a week, the person responsible for it will be brought to justice. But like everything, as news stories and articles pop up with breaking details, I promise you that I'll be here every step of the way to give you guys every detail, every fact that's released. Whatever they release that doesn't impede the investigation to find the criminal, I'll share it with you guys. So thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned. I have more coming. Like, subscribe, and hang in there and be careful.